So welcome to this live stream, this live session. So let's begin with the discussion that we left yesterday for some technical defects, that is assignments for ICSE class 10. Right. Okay, so let's begin. Right. So we start off with the very first question of the assignment, that is question number 1, that is absorption of water by plants. Absorption of water by plant cells by surface attraction is known as what? Now over here you have to identify the key terms of this question, that is plant cells is the key term, and another key term is surface attraction. This is the most important key term over here, right? Now so since it's surface attraction, whenever you see surface attraction in the question paper and absorption and surface attraction together, just blindly take imbibition, right? Imbibition is the answer, right? So moving on to the question number 2, a plant cell swelled up when placed in a certain solution. So certain solution is important, swelled up is important. So when a plant cell swells up in a certain solution, what we anticipate that the plant cell is put in a hypotonic solution, right? And as the solution outside is hypotonic, the water will move into the plant cell and will result in swelling up of the cell. So the answer is hypotonic. We discussed this yesterday, right? So now moving on to the question number 3, that's movement of solvent from lower to higher solute concentration is known as what it is known as, right? What it is known as. Are you with me? Are you with me? Okay, so over here, as we can see over here, we have the movement of solvent from low solvent. So movement of solvent, who is moving? Solvent, and from lower to higher concentration, right? Of solute. So over here solute is important and solvent is important. So these are the key terms over here. Now lower to higher solute concentration means higher to lower solvent concentration. So solvent is moving from its higher concentration to lower concentration. So movement from higher concentration to lower concentration has to be some sort of diffusion. So this negates the first option, that is active transport is not possible, because in active transport you get to see a transport from lower to higher concentration of the same substance, right? Now it has to be some kind of diffusion. So the kinds of diffusion are diffusion, facilitated diffusion, and osmosis, right? Now comes the second key point, or the utility of the second key point over here, that is your osmosis. Diffusion and facilitated diffusion both are for solutes mostly, but osmosis, whenever you have the term solvent, it's for osmosis, right? So the answer is osmosis. I hope this is clear. You are with me? You with me? Understood till this? Yesterday we were able to finish off this, but after that we faced a technical problem and we had to terminate the session. Right. Now we will move on to the next session and next question, that is question number 4. Now question number 4 says highest water potential is A and is that of B. Now you have to identify A and B. Now over here let's identify the key points or key terms in this question, that is first key point is the highest, and now the second important or key point is your water potential. So they are asking about water potential and they are asking about the highest water potential. So this question is not a conceptual question. This question is based on two information, that is what? That is your one, highest water potential is 0 and water potential is highest for pure water. So this makes option 3 as our correct option. So A represents the water potential, value of water potential, highest value, that is 0, that's your 0, and which liquid exactly bears the highest water potential, and that is your pure water, right? I hope this is clear. This is a very basic information knowing type question. There's no concept involved over here, yet the concept of water potential is very important and you have to learn it by heart. You have to understand the concept of water potential very well to understand the chapters, this chapter and the next chapter, that is transpiration, right? Now we move on to the next question, that is question number 5. Now question number 5 says active transport cannot occur without. So over here important point is that cannot occur. Not is very important. Most of the times what students do, students skip this not term in the question paper and then they end up marking the wrong answer. So never ever in your life miss a not in the question. This is a lifetime learning, right? Now over here not is the very important question word. Apart from that, now another important word is here, that's without. Without is important. Now active transport is the key term over here. Now for active transport, since you have the active term, you need ATP. And then the next option says molecule to be transported. Yeah, you are right. You have answered it, option number 4. Let's explain how it's option number 4. And since transport is mentioned, for transport you need molecules to be transported. If you don't have molecules to be transported, there's no point of the entire transport process. It's like if you don't have students to teach in a school, there's no point of having teachers in the school, right? Similarly, if you don't have something to transport, there's no point of having the transportation system, right? Now, coming to the third point, downhill concentration gradient. Active transport is always concerned with uphill transport gradient, uphill, that is from low to high, right? Downhill is for diffusion, osmosis, facilitated diffusion and all that stuff. That means collectively the passive transport. But whenever it's active, it's about uphill, right? So downhill concentration gradient is wrong. It cannot be the answer. So both option 1 is correct, option 2 is correct. So finally, that's why we have to mark option 4, that is more than one option is correct, right? So moving on to the next question, that is question number 6. Now question number 6 deals with the name of the following, right? So this is basically your in your exams you are asked this as give the technical term. Now coming to the question 1, okay, so first of all there's a typo over here, typing error. This has to be question number 2, this has to be question number 3, and finally this has to be question number 4, right? This is a very simple typo, you can comprehend it, that's not a problem. Now first question number 6.1, vascular tissue transporting water, right? Now what you are transporting, the keyword water. Now what kind of tissue you are looking for? You are looking for vascular tissue. So vascular tissue are 2 in number. When it comes to plants, we have xylem and we have phloem, right? Now phloem transports food predominantly, whilst xylem transports water predominantly. So the answer will be your xylem. I hope this is clear. Are you with me? Is it clear till now? Is it clear till now? Are you with me? Is it clear till now? Are you with me? Coming to the next question, that is pressure in active water absorption by roots. Absorption by roots. Now whenever we talk about active water absorption in roots, we have two ideas or two hypotheses. One is your root pressure hypothesis, right? Another one is a transpirational pull. Now we all know that a root pressure hypothesis concerns a passive process, and transpirational, sorry, I'm very sorry, I just made a mistake over here, I'm very sorry. Root pressure is your active process, and transpirational pull hypothesis talks about a passive process, right? So they have mentioned active over here. Active water absorption by root. So if you also, your answer can be verified by the term pressure. So it has to be root pressure. So the answer is your root pressure. Right. Now coming to question number 3. Force between two adjacent water molecules in xylem. Now when we learned about transpirational pull hypothesis, we learned about two forces. One is adhesive force, another one is cohesive force. Adhesive force operates between two different entities or two dissimilar entities, whilst cohesive force works or operates between two similar entities. Now over here the question says two adjacent water molecules. Two water molecules are similar, right? Water molecules are similar entities, so force between them, two similar entities, it has to be cohesive force. It has to be cohesive force or cohesion force. Better than cohesive, write cohesion force for your exam. For your exam it's better to write cohesion. Adhesion force and cohesion force or cohesive force, right? Are you with me? Any doubts? Are you with me? Nice. So coming to the next question, that is question number 6.4. Loss of water from the aerial part of plant as vapor. So loss of water, loss is the keyword. Now aerial part is the keyword and as vapor. So loss of water from aerial parts. So now these three keywords, loss, aerial and vapor, particularly point towards transpiration. So basically this is the rough definition of transpiration put over here. So answer is very clear. This is the most easy or the easiest question of this set, that is it has to be transpiration. Right? So this has to be transpiration. So with this we finished off the question number 6. Now let's move on to question number 7. Now question number 7 deals with long answer type questions where you have to write. This is basically the subjective question. Now question number 1 of 7. Transplanting seedlings in a flower bed is better in evening than morning. You have to give reasons for that. Now first of all you have to understand one word, that is transplanting. Okay, so are you with me? Are we on the same page? Okay, so transplanting simply signifies that taking out a seedling from a particular flower bed and then putting it in a new flower bed. So when you put a plant body in the new flower bed, suppose let's take, suppose this is one flower bed. Okay, over here you are putting in a plant seedling, right? So just when you plant the seedling, what happens? The roots of the seedling just get into the soil. They don't get enough time to get settled up. Or in simple terms, what I'm trying to say, that whenever you put a seedling into a new flower bed, the roots require time to get adjusted to the changed flower bed or changed environment, right? Whenever you go to a new place, you take some time to get adjusted to the place, right? Whenever something new happens in life, people take time to get adjusted. Like when lockdown happened, people took time to get adjusted to the new way of life in lockdown. So similarly, plants also take time to adjust to the new and changed environment, right? Now these roots take time to get adjusted to the new flower bed. Now this is the concept number 1 we require to understand this question. Now there's concept number 2. Concept number 2 deals with the part of evening and morning. Now we know that in morning, if it's the morning, what happens? In morning, this transpiration is minimum. Transpiration is low, and water absorption or water transport in roots is mainly aided by root pressure, is the predominant one. And what happens in the evening? You have transpiration is the main force, or mainly in the daytime. What happens in the daytime between morning and evening? Transpiration is the main force, high, and root pressure operates low, right? So now if you plant the flower in the morning, then by the before the root gets time to get adjusted, what happens? Transpiration starts in the shining, under the bright shining sun, the transpiration starts, right? But root is not well adjusted to the flower bed, so this creates a problem in absorption of water. Now the root is not able to absorb enough water, but on the other hand, by transpiration the plant keeps on losing water, so this causes dehydration of plants, right? So that's why if you plant or transplant seedlings in the evening, in the night time what will happen? In night time transpiration is minimum. The entire night the root is getting accustomed with the changed flower bed, and by the time morning comes in or morning sets in, the roots are adjusted to do water absorption. So what you have to write? You have to write that if we transplant, whenever we transplant a seedling into a new flower bed, the roots take time to get adjusted or to get adopted to the changed flower bed. At that point of time, the roots are not able to absorb water effectively. In this situation, if transpiration happens, that is, if the plant faces morning time, as planted in morning, then transpiration will cause loss of water, but root will not be able to absorb enough water, and hence the plant will go through dehydration. But if we transplant the seedling in the evening time, the plant roots will get an entire night time to get adjusted to the soil, and in night time transpiration is minimum, so there will be minimum loss of water, and hence the plant will not suffer from dehydration. Are you clear with this answer? Have you understood what you have to write? So basically the concepts that you require to apply is that the roots take time to get adjusted to the new flower bed, and what happens in morning time and what happens in the evening time. So basically this question can come for 2 marks, or this question can either come for 2 marks or a 3 mark, right? So it's better to write in 3 sentences. 1 sentence dedicated for dedicated for the adjustment of the root, and 2 sentences, 1 sentence describing the morning scenario, another sentence describing the evening scenario, right? Understood? So just by basic 3 sentences you can answer this question. Now moving on to the next one. Minerals are necessary for water transport through xylem. Now water transport, we have learned that water transport through xylem is explained by means of 2 hypotheses. Okay, so what are those 2 hypotheses? The 2 hypotheses are, one, your transpirational pull hypothesis, and second one is your root pressure hypothesis. Now over here, in root pressure hypothesis, we have learned that the process is very simple. What happens? Suppose this is my xylem tissue. Suppose this is my xylem tissue, and along the xylem or around the xylem we have a lot of plant cells, right? Now what we learned in xylem tissue, minerals are actively transported into the xylem lumen, so that the water potential of the xylem lumen decreases or becomes lower than that of the water potential of the surrounding cells, and this water potential gradient will cause flow of water into the xylem lumen. Can you recall this? Can you recall this concept that we learned about root pressures? So basically, as we can see over here, this operates on one fundamental idea, that the fundamental idea says that minerals are actively transported into the xylem lumen. So now this is the importance of minerals for water transport through xylem. Now you have to write first according to, so it can again come for 2 or 3 marks question. Give reasons can come for 2 or 3 mark questions, right? So it can be either 2 mark or it can be a 3 marker, right? Now if it is a 2 mark or 3 mark question, it's better to answer it in 3 sentences. Now the first sentence should go like this: water transport through xylem can be explained via 2 hypotheses. Then name the hypothesis. One is the transpirational pull hypothesis, and second one is the root pressure hypothesis. Then come to the second sentence. According to the root pressure hypothesis, minerals are actively transported into the xylem lumen to decrease the water potential of the xylem lumen, and thus creating a water potential gradient from the surrounding cells into the xylem lumen, so that the water can move from the surrounding cells into the xylem lumen, and thus the water can get transported through xylem. So first sentence, you discuss the 2 hypotheses. First sentence. Sentence 1. Right. Now in second sentence, you describe the root pressure hypothesis. Root pressure hypothesis along with this mineral transport, right? Mineral active transport. Right. And in the third sentence, you discuss about the water potential gradient. Potential gradient and how that water potential gradient is required for water movement from surrounding cells into the xylem. And with this, you end the answer. And always give reason answers, you end by writing thus and copying the statement. Like for this answer, after giving you logic, you will write thus minerals are necessary for water transport through xylem. Always end the give reasons questions by the ending line should be thus, and then continue with the question language. Okay, then continue with the question language. Right? Understood? So you write all these things. Now you can merge point 2 and 3 into one sentence. This can be the entire second sentence, sentence 2. The third sentence, make that thus sentence. Okay. Are you with me? Okay. So let's move on to the third question or the last question of this set. Potato cubes, when kept in pure water, become firm and increase in size. Now let's again identify the keywords over here. Potato cubes, kept in pure water. Right, these are the 2 important points. So basically, what is the setup? You take a jar full of water or beaker full of water, right? Water, and in that water you put in a potato cube like this. Okay. Okay. Now in potato cube is what is potato basically? Potato is the cell. A potato is a part of plant. It's basically roots. It's basically a root of a plant, right? Potato is a root. So as it is a root, or a living plant part, it will be consisting of cells. It will consist of cells, right? Now the cells contain what? Potato contains a lot of carbohydrate or sugar. Potato cells in potato contains a lot of sugar. I hope you know all this, right? Cells of potato contain sugar. Contain sugar. Now as they contain sugar, and another thing, that as they contain sugar, that means you have to understand that sugar is a solute. That means the cells have solute in them. That means the water potential of potato cube will be lesser than the water potential of pure water, right? And hence there will be flow of water from pure water into the potato cube. So water will move into the potato cube or the cells of the potato cube, and as water will move into the cells of the potato cube, individual cells will increase in size, get swelled up and increase in size. The cells will become, eventually the cells will become turgid, and thus the potato cube will increase in size and will become firm. So basically there are two explanations. They have asked you 2 points: why it will become firm and why it will be increase in size. Increase in size for the increase in size of the cells, cell size increase, and firmness is due to what? Firmness is due to your turgidity. Cells become turgid, right? Are you with me? Are you with me? Are you with me? So now coming to the main idea that you want to hear, how many lines to write and what to write. Now let's come to the sentence structure of this answer. Let's come to the sentence structure. Now sentence 1. Describe potato cube. So how will you describe potato cube? You will describe potato cube by simply saying that potato cubes contain plant cells. Potato cubes contain plant cells rich in sugar or carbohydrate. Okay, so I'm repeating. So should I repeat the entire question? Okay, nice. So basically we are talking about the question number 3, which says potato cubes when kept in pure water become firm and increase in size. So the keywords are potato cubes and pure water. These are the two players of the game over here. And now what they have asked for? They have asked for reasoning of firmness and reasoning for increase in size, right? So now let's talk about potato cubes. So potato is basically a plant part, living plant part. It's a root of a plant. So now as it is a living plant part, so it will contain living plant cells. So the cells of the potato cube or the potato contain a lot of, okay, after cell size. After cell size is that, so increase in cell size will be due to entry of water into the cell, and at the same point of time as the cell will swell up, the cell wall will not allow the cell to swell up so much, and that will cause turgidity. The cells will become turgid, and this turgidity of cellular level will get expressed as firmness in the potato cube level. Will be expressed as the firmness of the potato cube. The turgidity of the cells of the potato cube will be expressed as firmness of the potato cube. Understood? Is it clear till now? Okay, so now we are coming to the sentence structure of this. Now sentence structure says describe potato cube. Now, if I describe potato cube, first of all, sentence 1 should be description of the potato cube. So basically, say potato represents a plant part. It consists of cells. The cells of potato contain high carbohydrate, or the cells of potato have high carbohydrate content, right? Presence of carbohydrate. Now come to the next line. So now come to the sentence 2. Talk about water potential. This idea. Talk about this idea. Presence of carbohydrate in the cells of the potato cube causing significant decrease in their water potential decrement in their water potential from the highest value, or from 0, or from the water potential of pure water. This creates a water gradient from the pure water from outside to inside of the potato cube. As a result of this, water moves into the potato cube. This much you write into the second sentence. And finally comes the third sentence, where you write, as water moves in to the potato cube, the cells of the potato cube swell up, they increase in size. And then write, as the cells swell up, the turgidity of the cells increase, and the turgidity of the cells get collectively expressed as the firmness of the potato cube. Thus, okay, so basically over here explaining the increase in size plus firmness. So the main point over here is that you have to explain increase in size and firmness separately. Otherwise, the examiner can cut your marks. And finally, you write the thus statement. Right? With this, you finish off. This is the answer skeleton of your question over here. Is it all right? Is it clear, or should I repeat? Okay. Okay, nice. So this was the problem set. So these were the questions in the assignment. So I hope you understood it all. So let's meet in the next session. Until then, bye bye.